Hello, people of the internet. It's your girl Cereals back again with another video. Hello, people of the internet. It's your girl Cereals back again with another video. Now, pop quizzes in some school systems are non-existent, but then again, I'm sharing my own experiences about pop quizzes back when I was in grade 2 till which grade I am now, grade 11. 11, 1 plus 1, 11 daw, ganon. So yeah, today's about preparation for pop quizzes. Now we all know pop quizzes are really annoying, and especially when the teachers, you know, that. So based off of these experiences, I laid out some points on how you can really prepare for it and somehow study for it even if it's last minute. Milk tea is the best, guys. So without further ado, the first point is, I would advise students to do is pay attention well in class, because this tip will save your ass. I'm telling you, it's like the main point of going to school. It's paying attention in class. I know this is pretty self-explanatory and pretty basic, but I wanted to make sure to include this point because it has really helped me a lot, and this might as well be just your ticket to getting that A+. You know, that A+ is really hard to get. So let me explain why you need to really pay well attention to class discussions or class lectures. Paying attention in class discussions will actually really help you understand more, and will actually help you retain more information and remember more knowledge that you have been taught in class, more than reading from textbooks and writing it down, which also helps. It's a really good tip. I will get onto that a bit later, but I would advise students like me to do each and every time they're in class, whether you hate that class or you don't. You just have to really pay attention to what the teacher is explaining, because that is your key to really understanding the chapter or the lesson. So the second point that I would advise you to do is revise as soon as you get home. Okay, some students, they have chores to do, they have lunch to eat, they have to sleep, they have to do things before they get to study, or they get time to study. So I do this tactic every day for the past 2 months. Ever since grade 11 has started, I try to do this every day because it's a really good habit for students who are really slow in catching up in lectures. So what you can do is read your textbooks, read the notes that the rough notes that you've taken that for that subject, for example biology or for example physics. And I'm really bad at physics, so I have to write it down first on my rough notes and then transfer it to my notebook. And before transferring to my notebook, I have to read the textbook because I'm really slow when it comes to calculations. I admit that not everyone is good in maths and physics and shit like that. This is a really good habit for students because the chances are that what you've taken today might get asked tomorrow. So what I mean by that, for example, is biology class today. So biology class, we learned about human digestive system in brief. So after I get home, I try to revise the portion that she has taken and the portion she has taken the day before yesterday, so that when and if she asks questions about that, I'm ready, I'm prepared. So this is the second way that I prepare for pop quizzes, because we don't want to be humiliated now, and I don't want to be humiliated. I don't want to be seen as someone who's lazy or stupid in class, so we have to make the efforts, girls. So this technique is basically to refreshen up your mind and not forget about it, because I know some students who are slow, not really slow, but they're slow and they don't take effort in trying to improve. And this technique will really help you a lot. And I think this is really useful for the weekends because there's a 2.5 day gap between the last class that you have and the first class that you will have for the next week. So maybe your class will end on a Thursday or on a Friday. So it depends on some countries where Sunday will be the first day of the week or Monday will be the first day of the week, because in Saudi Arabia it's Sunday to Thursday. The weekdays will be from Sunday to Thursday, or the day off or the weekends will be a Friday and a Saturday. So the third point is, I know some of you are gonna hate me for this. You're not gonna watch my videos anymore, but this is what I do. Back when I had history, civics, politics, or civics and politics are the same, but I call it politics. Read your textbooks 2 to 3 times. Now, some students really hate reading from the textbooks or have difficulties. They have difficulties in reading from the textbooks. But for students who don't have a problem from reading hardcover textbooks, this is a really, really, really good tips. It's one hell of a helpful tip. Why this is a very helpful tip for me? Because as you try to read more and more, it gets stuck in your head, right? Like when you're reading something over and over, when you're listening to something over and over and over, it gets stuck in your head, gets registered in your head. Reading will help you a lot. So it will get stuck in your mind, it will get printed in your eyes, on your eyes. I don't know which preposition to use, in or on. It will get registered in your head, and basically you'll be able to memorize it. And here's another minor small tip, because for me, my first language or my mother tongue is not English, it's Tagalog. We all know that. And some students are bilingual as well. So there's a technique that I do is read the chapter as it is in English, and then paragraph by paragraph try to explain it to yourself, because I think understanding it in your own words would help you more than just by hearting it or memorizing word by word. It will be much more easier, because by hearting a question, for example, will not gain you any marks or any scores in exams, because they will change the questions how it is. They will twist the questions. So in order to prepare for that, you need to step it up a bit. You need to think 2 steps ahead. So you have to understand the question, you have to understand the answer, why it has been developed like that, why is the answer like that, basically. So if you can't understand a paragraph, you can read it in English, try to explain it to yourself, and I'm going to guarantee you're gonna get those marks. I'm telling you. I do this every time. Back when I had history, geography, politics, and economics, I really loved social science. So for me, it was a piece of cake just by understanding what has been written there and why it happened, for example, in history. And just so you know, trust me, it will be hella easy for you to score an exam if you try to understand it this way, because it's your mother tongue. You know it better than English, for example, if it's not your mother tongue. There's no harm in reading, FYI, there's no harm in reading. I know some of you hate reading from the textbooks. Or if you are a visual learner, there are YouTube videos that can help you. If there aren't, you gotta have that confidence in yourself to understand more by just reading. And my brother is a visual learner, so we try to teach him by YouTube videos or by visualizing and having that kind of imagination on par with his level to make him understand something. So it's rather an advantage reading once or twice, because it gets stuck in your head and you'll remember more. I'm telling you, this is a guaranteed tip. I'm going to finish my milk tea now. So, the last but not the least tip that I'm going to give you is, this is mainly for math and physics and other calculating subjects, computers maybe. So I prefer doing example questions from in between the books. This is why. Doing example questions from the book or practice questions from the book will give you an exact idea of how a question will attack you, okay? I'm telling you, questions are pretty scary in exams, so you don't want to have that panic, you don't want to have that anxiety. And if and when the teacher asks you a question about it, to solve it, for example, right then and there in the class, you don't want to fail, right? So you gotta be prepared. Doing example questions will only take you at least 5 minutes if it's the smallest question or the largest questions. It will only take you an hour. So please do this tip. It will save you from high school or college or elementary school. I'm guaranteeing you. I'm guaranteeing. I guarantee you. It will give you a basic outline of how a question comes in an exam, which will get you prepared and which will get you marks. So, ayun nga, we are at the end of the video. I hope these tips have been helpful to you or will be helpful to you as much as they were for me. If you would add any other tips that you do personally, I would love to hear them. Comment down below, like, share, and please don't forget to subscribe. Bye!